A coalition of more than 60 organizations gathered in Washington, D.C. for 3 days of action against the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement in hopes that they will persuade Congress to not approve it. More on this now with teleSUR's Bianca Perez.
For hundreds of activists, the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement represents the protection of large corporations and completely ignores the interests of the people. This idea brought dozens of organizations together to attempt to change the minds of congressmen.
On November 5th, the trade agreement was finally made public. And some chapters were leaked earlier, but now we really know what's in this secret trade agreement with none of us people, ordinary citizens at the table, but corporate representatives at the table to write a trade agreement that protects their profits and their property.
Some of the people who will see themselves most affected will be the agricultural sector in the United States. These citizens believe that, like every other trade agreement in the past, the TPP will harm their industry instead of helping it prosper.
We've been fighting these free trade agreements for decades, and there's always the promise that it's supposed to be better for farmers, we'll have more exports, everybody will do better, but it's never worked. Small farmers continue to go out of business, big corporate farms come in, the price and the quality of food goes up, so nobody really wins.
Activists see the TPP as a way for the United States to exert their interests of big corporations and underdeveloped countries who will suffer the consequences of this agreement.
Less food safety protections, less environmental protections, less health protections, less access to medicine in this country. But the worst impacts will certainly be seen in the underdeveloped nations, or the nations around the world that are being taken over and dominated by the United States corporate imperialist model.
The organizers of this action have planned for 3 days of protests in which they will attempt to close down the Chamber of Commerce, as well as go to the embassies of the 11 different nations who are part of this agreement. Bianca Perez, teleSUR, Washington, D.C.